My name is Paul Edward Costa, and welcome to the fifth edition of the Outer Haven Poetry Broadcast. This series features spoken word by three talented poets, plugs for books written by two local authors, and a list of literary journals where writers should submit some work. So, let's get started.
How do the orcas know to trace the shores of the Pacific, from north to south, never ending, between California and the Vancouver coast, clicking and singing to their sisters, dorsal fins straight and gleaming in the western mist, white eye patches reflecting morning glow, eating the turtles and seabirds along the way, beautiful killers. After his mother left, I watched my cousin, a 5-year-old boy, drift from city to city, Hangzhou to Yangmeiling to Chiang Mai. In the quiet of the night, across thousands of miles of unforgiving Atlantic, I can hear the faint sound of my uncle crying an ocean over his son's heart. Each year, from 2 floors below, drifts the sound of my father's worried tongue, trying to stitch them a passport to Canada. But the orcas know no borders, do not care for statehood marked by ink on paper. They glide silent through the golden waves, nomads of the sea, as if each drop is their own. I want to ask their watery bodies if they have ever felt the tug of a homeland, or if they live for this kind of roaming. I want to add my voice to the underwater song and whisper, can a boy find a home in wandering too?
The first book of poetry I'm recommending is Ex Nihilo, available from Frontenac House and written by Adebe Durango Adam. Adebe featured alongside me at an October 2019 edition of the Shabashir Poetry Series in Toronto. The second book of poetry I'm recommending is Through Painted Eyes by Valentino Essenza, published by Piquant Press. They put on a wonderful launch for this book at the Supermarket venue in Kensington Market, Toronto, and Valentino currently hosts the Howl radio show on CIUT 89.5 FM.
My name is Zara Rahman, and this is my poem titled One Day. One day, I will have a desk, a computer, a rotating chair that never spins, and clients for a career where there will be walks to the water cooler. There will be talks by the photocopier. A colleague might even sculpt himself from a sliver of time into my obese schedule, and after 5, on a mundane Monday, he will tell me about his long ago childhood dream to fly in the sky with the clouds. I'll laugh and tell him how I once wanted to be a poet. We will both laugh and sigh. If luck does exist, this poem will crawl into my desk and my palms will find new words, while he might stare up at the sky and say, things will be just fine.
These are a few literary journals where writers should consider sending their work. Black Moon Magazine is accepting poetry, fiction, and visual art until September 30th. For this issue, they are seeking original works that bend genre and the mind, and works that explore the darkest shadows of the world. Thimble Literary Magazine is now open to submissions for Volume 4, Number 3. They are primarily a poetry journal, but invite submissions on related topics such as artwork, stories, and interviews. Uproar by the Lawrence House Center for the Arts welcomes submissions of poetry, prose, spoken word, video, and mixed media on the theme Reckonings and Reconciliation until September 30th. And Type House Literary Magazine is currently accepting submissions of poetry, short fiction, creative nonfiction, and visual art for their 23rd issue to be published in September 2021. And they are taking those submissions until August 31st, 2021. They are especially interested in underrepresented voices of all kinds, and they want to see submissions from writers and artists of all races, sexualities, nationalities, religions, and genders, as well as disabled and neurodivergent creators. In addition to mainstream and literary works, they like genre pieces, particularly of the speculative bent. They pay $25 per accepted submitter. So send some work their way.
There's some things you should know before we begin. I am human. Things will happen. There is no rehearsal. I fall in love like it's an ocean or a dumpster. I make love according to package directions. I make friends like left turns on red lights and lose them like guitar picks. I sleep like there's no tomorrow. I've been known to eat as a form of entertainment. My smile is an audition for a bit part in your memoirs. I'll go down in flames to give you light to read by. I'll keep walking the earth like it was meant for a man with larger shoes, because what I've forgotten would have made me wise. I intend to fit my coffin perfectly. And I'm the preamble that's longer than the joke, the backstory patter that telegraphs the punchline. Which reminds me, have I told you about the time Thanks.
Strangely dressed for a hike. He's in his dark suit, while she wears a black dress. Both descending forest paths to grieve at the river's edge, beneath a concrete bridge, indifferent overhead. She's holding white roses to spread, as he emanates helpless anger at whatever power forced this extreme juxtaposition of aesthetics into existence. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.